I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode, episode 111. Now, before we get into this one, let me throw out a few things for you. I can't even multitask to the point that I need to be able to play while doing this. So I'll just leave it on pause for a moment and get through this. I'll be brief. One, I'm running off 3 hours of sleep. By now, I'm sure I've mentioned in a previous episode that at the moment, I am on vacation. Real life recording time, I'm 24 hours away from that vacation now, and 17 and a half hour days have not been enough to do everything that I need to run my business, to wrap up the basketball season, to prepare for the track season that starts the day after I get back. I'm the coach of both of those, to start a brand new series with the release of the NWSL in FIFA 23, which I haven't touched in 5 years. And 5 years ago, I barely played it, got bored of it real quick because it was still way too arcade style for my liking, and not a proper soccer/football simulation. I said I was going to be brief. Let me get to this. All the recording, all the editing, all the prep, all the time. There's just not enough hours in the day. And I am struggling. That's not to say that I wasn't in bed for more than 3 hours. I just could not sleep. And I think it's just I'm hitting overload here at the last minute trying to get things done. I've got 2 episodes to go here. They're probably going to be shorter than normal, so I should really get to the racing here as soon as possible. But one more thing before I get to that. Like I said, I cannot properly multitask right now. I might be a little awkward for these couple of episodes. I get a little loopy when I'm tired. Facecam's in a different spot. I've been seeing mentions in the comments. It's been getting likes, clicked. I've seen it a few times. In time trials, there's a third bar. You have your yellow, you have your red, and instead of the green, I mean, come on, there should still be a green bar, and it really shouldn't be impacting things, yet it does. Instead of the green, we have that checkered one in between with that distance to the finish line, so you can judge how far you have to go in the time trial, but it expands the space between the boxes. And so all of a sudden, the bottom rider or two you don't see. On a Grand Tour, you have an extra rider, and so that also interferes. So Grand Tours and time trials are problematic. I'm going to try the face cam out over here. I think it's slotted in where it's okay, out of the way. Not going to be a problem. It's virtually in the same spot it was, just on the opposite side. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it should just be used in those scenarios, aka time trials and Grand Tours, or should it be a full-time race face cam position? Words. Let's play. Vandenberg setting off, and this is the Tour de Suisse. It is prologue stage number 1, and let's play some PCM. Vandenberg has a minus bajillion race day condition. It's a -5 to be exact, and yeah, setting off at an 86 at 10K. I was kind of figuring he can't go too deep, but so far 86 is barely punishing him, so we'll turn that up to an 87, get him to that first checkpoint. And he is rather slow so far, as there's only been 10 guys crossing the line. He's already down to 13th at the end of the first time check. Whew. Vandenberg is slow. 74 for his prologue rating. Shouldn't be so bad, but he is not here as a contender. He is here as a sprinter. 12th place at the finish line, exactly 1 minute behind. Taraskin should be more of a contender. Karaman definitely. Guzman, somebody, anybody other than the one and only Vandenberg with a 58 mountain rating, 63 normally, is not going to be competitive. Nordhagen is the early leader. Taraskin cannot seem to escape the bad weather as well, and he sits on a -2 race day condition. struggling through this one. What can he do? He's gone a little bit deep. I have to shave off a little bit of energy here. $1K to go. Coming up on the finish line. He was 15 seconds down at the time check. 33 at the finish line. Cuts the deficit that Vandenberg had in half, but is still well off the pace. McKellar. Wow. We are struggling through this one. Now, no one, not one rider is here on an objective. No one has a fitness peak. We should be at zeros on the expected across the board. However, that's not quite the case. There are, I believe, 2 riders in our pack of 7 that are struggling a little bit with, say, low motivation. I don't think anyone was having any fitness issues preparation wise, but there was definitely no bonuses. So across the board, 2 -2s on the expected was the entirety of our problem. I think there was 1 +1. My memory is quite finicky when short-term memory in particular when I am this tired. So I think there was a +1, meaning the net expected would have been a -3 across the board for the team, as in something quite different to what we've seen so far with a -9 already, as now -10 with Karaman heading out there. At least for Karaman, it is completely irrelevant, the -1 that he's picked up. Other than usually on a 0, you're still picking up a little bit of bonus here or there due to your fitness levels, which we don't even get the fitness levels on a day such as this one, which is one of those oddities that does change up what it is that we are seeing, what it is that we are doing. 14 seconds down at the first time check for Karaman. We did back off a bit for a while through that first sector, and as we're pushing towards the end, we're having to kind of ride up as somebody new goes on top of the standings as we finish 32 seconds down, best time so far, and still a half minute behind with double American at the top. Kessler and Stites leading the way. Finally. Whew. Been waiting for you, bud. Hoggins makes up for all of it. +4. 85 prologue. 79 time trial. That's about an 84 when you combine the two. He should be very competitive with his time. Just 2 seconds down. And we had backed off to that 86 a little bit before that time check. And look how we are catching the rider ahead of us, blowing him out of the water. 89, push, 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 and still 6 seconds behind. That is the AI for you on a day such as this one. That a guy who literally used every ounce of energy and pushed within 85, well, 84. Well, let's be real, 84. Is 83 on his stamina, so, kind of average across the board was about an 83, 84-ish. Damn near perfect. Still losing by 6 seconds and not even in the top 5. Hoggins, I'm not sure he's got enough mountain rating, though. I mean, if he had a +5 every day, which he doesn't have a fitness peak objective, maybe, but not with that kind of mountain rating. He's a puncher. How many mountains do we have to get through Tour de Suisse, though? Is it much worse than the Dauphiné? I don't know which profile we're looking at. I haven't checked. Ole. Guzman, as I'm trying to set him up, it detracts and pulls back, and he comes in a bit underpowered. Now finally set on that 87. 10 seconds behind. He's sitting pretty as well with 79s crossboard. Either way you look at it. And that should lead to a pretty decent time, but he will certainly not be in that 6-second territory. But as we push into that final kilometer and he is closing up and using the last of that energy, he uses it up for a 16-second deficit. Still, Competitive. It's fine. At our worst, we're still only a minute 7 down. It's more or less a prologue. We'll be okay. Minute deficit is hard to recover. You got to win 10 stages to get 10 seconds each. That doesn't add up. I told you I get loopy. I told you. It only takes 6 stages. I know what a minute equals. Ooh. English. The English version of English. Please tell me, why do you call it maths? Maths, plural, with an S? You know, you don't always have to do multiple. It doesn't have to be plural. Math. Math is the process. Math is singular. So, wow. Explain to me why in England math is maths with an S all the time. I do not get that correlation, because it can be plural. You can do more than one math equation at once, but math in American English is just math, singular. It's never maths. Yes. Do please. Let's have that conversation. That's what we're here for. That's what you came for, right? No. That's the end of the stage for us, with nobody in a competitive time, though Hoggins hanging on to a top 10, I suppose, despite an 84. Not being terribly competitive. Tiberi is up there in 5th place. Almeida is 8th. Those are guys to watch out for in the overall. Let's move on. Speaking of profile, I'm not sure about the face cam position here. Left-hand side, it's definitely a little bit less in the way, but bottom right corner, where I often put it, is slightly in the way, as is here if you're talking about a bigger climb, mountaintop finish type scenario. But anyway, punchy, stage 2. That's punchy for stage 3, more of a sprint. Punchy stage 4. Sort of mountaintop finish. Right after this Cat 1, it drops and then comes back up slightly before the finish. In the last couple of kilometers, with straight descending in between. Obviously, there's a double climb on the way up to the top of that Cat 1. Stage 6 is 162k with 3 climbs and very little flat terrain. Stage 7 is a punchy individual time trial. And stage 8, mountain climb with the Susten Pass. Right after this Cat 1, it's straight to the finish line in the last 2 kilometers. So totally flat on the last 2K. Not sure why you don't just finish at the top of the climb, but okie dokie. Also, for day 2, things have seemed to have corrected themselves. Some of the guys are motivated now by being here and have picked up that motivation. Guzman has begun his fitness peak, though combined with low motivation equals a +1. The rain, he's got some fatigue. He's in a bit of a mess, but it still ultimately equals a +1. So we are neutral now. 0 race day condition expectations. Let's go racing. Okay, so let me be frank with you, though I'm not frank. I'm Lee, by the way. I know you know me as Decathlon gamer, but it's Lee. Anyway, let me be frank with you. Who's that? Who's Frank? Yeah, whatever. I know, not that punny. I can't multitask. This is so difficult. Point being, I wanted to get in the break today. I knew that I couldn't handle it. I could hardly handle commentary and playing the game right now. I'm probably going to do really poor with this race, especially considering that I don't have my A team here. And that we don't have race day condition bonuses. We're neutral today. It's a -1 compared to expected. Our sick man, of course we get somebody sick. Jan Bach actually has a +3 race day condition. But beyond him, that's that. Getting through the first climb of the day, 5 riders off the front, 3 minutes to the front 3 of them, with 2 in no man's land. and they are already coming back towards the Peloton. So for now, we take it easy. Nobody's drifting back too far at this point. Everybody's still very much near the front as we cruise at that 78. We're going to have to put a bit more effort into the next climb, but this will allow for full recovery before we head into that. Probably did it a little bit too early, but I already got water taken care of. I probably will forget about it to try to do it again. And before I do forget about this, let's put in a bit more effort to hang on to our position through the next climb. If you make it through this one, you should be just fine towards the finish line, unless you are literally out of energy at the top of this climb. And Guzman dropping back a bit, but we are, hanging in there. That's because Vandenberg is who he is protecting. No, that's Bach protecting him. What's Guzman doing? Protecting Carmen? Not very well. All right, we're down to 2 riders off the front now, instead of 5, instead of 3, really. And they have still a 2-minute advantage with just 30K to go, and it's relatively flat. Not the easiest chase, but we just pulled back 20 seconds over the course of that descent, and that, I think, will just about do it. They are coming back relatively quick. If that gap was holding out a bit better, I would give them a real shot, but on the flat, we are going hardcore here, up to 85s now just to try to get in position, 20K to go. We're going to get at least over this first non-categorized hill before I bother thinking about a train, but with just 2 short, steep climbs to manage, we're going to want to get into that formation relatively soon to lead things out, but we're still looking at 16K. Vandenberg losing some ground. I'm not sure this is down to sprinters today. Vandenberg, I would love to get him involved, as obviously that 79 in the finish line, that points to his favor. But there are way too many strong riders. We are nowhere near the top 10 riders in terms of the favorites. I mean, not even remotely close to breathing a bid in the contenders for the day. Down to 1 rider left off the front and just 4 seconds ahead, and Vandenberg feels like he is way too far back along with Bach there, and with just 8K, this is definitely time to do something. I almost want to gel up with everyone, but I know that's not going to quite work. Guzman, Taraskin is out front, but is he somebody I want to ride for? Better sprinter than Karaman. So he at the very least needs to fall in behind Karaman. How's Huggins looking? Punchy, better sprinter, better energy. Bach is way too far behind, but maybe could catch up. Vandenberg, way too far behind, but could maybe catch up. So McKellar and Guzman need to lead this thing out. McKellar is slightly ahead, but Guzman looks like he is pedaling a bit harder. 38K, 50K. So yes, Guzman is going to go first, and McKellar is going to go second. That is thirsty, but we did just about make it on the water part. So Guzman sneaking right through, and McKellar being able to fall in behind him. That worked out okay. That did work out okay. Meanwhile, Guzman, as we kind of come around that technical corner and find space, that sets up McKellar now, but Guzman got us there, so I suppose that's good. That was technically 2K on the front, and we're now looking at 6 kilometers to go, and McKellar pushing hard, setting us up well over the top on this one. He is out of red bar. Those two are definitely not caught up, so Huggins is kind of the man at the moment, and we're 1K from the top. Let's give it another couple hundred meters and then respond to that. Arietta involved in the attack there. Karaman coming hard and fast and setting us up. We're good on that part, but we don't have anybody capable of really attacking right now. Huggins is there. And Bach, Vandenberg, can't climb well enough. Separation anxiety. Simmons, of course, heavy favorites right there, those few guys, but we did split the field. 2K to go. Told you, can't multitask well enough. We're sprinting way too late for gels for these guys, and we're sprinting, and we are sprinting with non-sprinters. Bach has caught up. He can almost sprint. Huggins can get a podium. It's going to be a second place. I think that's Simmons. It is. Hagens grabs 6 seconds. I'll take it. Bach grabs 5th. Tereskin 6th. And we've beat some solid riders. Will we see gaps? I would love to. There's plenty of separation, but there's a lot of single riders. We need to find them a dating app, or we need to just find a gap somewhere amongst all those singles. No gaps in the immediate front group, but after Pogacar, who only finished 16th, there is a gap, beginning with Garcia at 27 seconds, 34 to Harrison Russell. Enric Mas and his group fall in at 41. So the singles had enough separation, and then a big group at 41 seconds, including Vandenberg. Now, we saw deficits of about a minute. After 82nd, you're seeing much larger gaps, but that does really change the standings quite a bit for a number of riders. And it put Hagens in the race lead. That's cool. That's some free points for us, and maybe some recognition from the team. But I don't think he's really a contender. Karaman is a better contender. But yeah, there you go. Hagens, Karaman, Bach, Tereskin, all in the top 15 within 40 seconds of our leader. That does shake up the field a little bit, but Almeida, certainly a favorite, is right there. Pogacar, the favorite, and Vingegaard, Simmons, dangerous. One thing I need to keep an eye on this stage, and I'm coming in a little bit early on this one just to help myself keep an eye on it, but I'll try to speed things up and see if I can keep an eye on it and talk to you through it as we go through. But we have the race leader's jersey, and it's often up to the race leader's team manage the breakaway, and it was out to 5 minutes, but it's cut back to 4.5 as we continue on. And of course, multitasking, not my strength today, so let's go get water. I remembered I was planning on doing that at 120k, not at 100, but you know, hey, I made it happen, made it work. Looks like a relatively easy day. Should be a sprint stage on paper, but somehow is classified punchy, and not the easiest stage for a sprinter. Obviously, it's not flat as a pancake, but it is certainly more flat than not. -4 net today from the team, so another poor draw. That's one thing to keep an eye out on. We are at 60k now. We're going to need to go water again, but let's get through these double climbs. 76 looks like it's going to be enough to manage the climbs. Drifting back for a couple guys, but we're okay. 132 in the Peloton. Oh, come on. That's his second fall already. Oh, man. That's the sprinter. That's the sprinter. Get water for yourself. Karaman somehow gets dropped while trying to get the water. Is he back in contact? No, not yet. So Vandenberg gets dropped. Karaman gets dropped. Vandenberg drops and does some push-ups. And will he get back in this thing? Do we need to drop some guys back to support and help pull him back up? Probably do. And these guys, meanwhile. Oh, and then Karaman gives up on the water. This is pathetic. Go get Vandenberg. First thing is we get a -4. Then we've got all these guys struggling at the back end for no good reason. They really shouldn't be struggling like this. Who's back here? Bach, get water for the group. Okay, Karaman. Karaman is sitting on, and he's supposed to be waiting for Vandenberg. And Vandenberg is suddenly a lot further behind than he was, is he not? Bridge this gap, buddy. Leave these guys behind. Who's going to come with you? Now just 4 of us. We're not dragging everyone with us, but there is Karaman. Okay, you've done your thing. Karaman. Oof. Hey, are you not liking to follow orders? You're still looking over your shoulder and distracted. I don't like that 41 riders in that group thing. 65 here sounds a lot better. There's going to be time losses. Guzman still guys trying to get back in position. The 3 riders off the front are down to 120, and we're getting into the later phases now. Just 34k to go, and it's taken that long to get water. Back to 93 riders, but again, There's 43 there, and Karaman, not the only one working hard. Arietta is back here. That's sit-up territory. Arietta is 31st. What? I thought he was like 3rd overall. Are we dealing with multiple Ariettas in this field or something? I don't know, but I do not think Vandenberg is going to get back on. 2nd crash already. A lot of energy spent. I mean, we bridged that one gap and then are using Karaman to continue, but Vandenberg's twice as tired as he was 10K ago, so he's not handling the pace at the moment. Last climb to worry about. Those 3 riders don't need to worry about. Here comes the acceleration piece. There is a response. Yes, there is. There's an acceleration by EF. And other guys continuing to help support that, so we're okay on this chase for now. Karaman and Vandenberg have bridged the gap quite a bit, but they are not there, and not looking. They're not too far back. No break any longer, so that's all together. Guzman is tired. A lot of them are tired, but they're hanging in there. And a lot of downhill towards the finish. And Karaman is just about getting Vandenberg there, but Vandenberg is just about done. So close to contact, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, contact! Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Yeah. It lasted for a fraction of a second. Back in contact at least with Karaman, but there's the group gone bye-bye. So they're not going to make it. See you later. Goodbye. So, caught by the water bug and the crash bug. And is that really? Really? There we go. It's Simmons. It's Simmons. If somebody's going to get clear and win this thing without an issue, it's going to be him. I don't have enough strength to chase that. I don't think somebody else is going to chase that. No, they're going to join the attack. No, nobody's chasing it. I don't have enough strength to ride 16K on the front. Those guys are going to win by 2 minutes if I don't, and they win the overall. They are way too strong to leave alone if I don't chase. And we are so screwed if I chase. Are you chasing, Barta? Yeah, okay. That's kind of a chase. That's kind of a chase. That's good. That's something. That is a chase now. It's more of a bunch of guys wanting to attack themselves. 11K. McKellar's got to be my sprinter out of this. If we're going to have a sprint. Right? No, it could be Bach. But Bach's no climber. So if you want to gain time, gain for Hoggins. We're riding for Hoggins, right? After all, 8K? 8K. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get this show on the road. Time to party. Their attack. This one probably would have succeeded if we don't put our foot down. 5K. Taraskin is not going to last more than a... Oh, we have 8. We have split the field. Taraskin is done. Taraskin is done. So get out of there first. Let those two ride through. Okay. You're pushing. 2.6. 2.3. Technical. Let's get around this corner and attack Bach. And Hoggins, 1K. We're going to get a podium at least. We're going to get a podium. Can Hoggins sneak through? Can Hoggins sneak through and grab 10 more seconds? Hell yeah. I thought I was going to be terrible. I'm so loopy. Yeah. Oh. That one hits the heartstrings. That one hits the heartstrings. It's the face cam. It's the face cam being over here, right? That's gotta be it. Or it's me being loopy and relaxed. No stress. Huggins takes the win ahead of Shockman and Pithy. Pogacar gets 5th. Splits up and down. Bach was 10th. McKellar, Taraskin, top 31 for each. Guzman was 49th. Karaman missing out, so there's one of your climbers, though. Go bye-bye. All because of water. There's plenty falling from the sky. Just stick your tongue out. Woo, bonuses! 10-second bonus and 19-second separation to Dorian Godon. Godot. Good something. In 4th place. Extra. Read all about it? What? Where'd that come from? Anyway, Bach. Same time as everybody else. McKellar. Taraskin. No other splits until you get down to 47th. Svestad Bartsang. The man who is very much getting my Dragon's way. 156. There are some gaps. Obviously, the gap at the front, helpful. I'm practically riding for Huggins now with a 73 mountain. I don't think he's good enough to handle the mountains. He's doing great right now, but I suppose take what you can get. GC might not be in the cards for us in this race, but some leader jersey wearing and some stage winning might have to just do. Shockman is now 2nd, 12 seconds back. Almeida from prime position, best placed GC guy after stage 1. Now more than a half a minute back. Could still very well be a favorite, though. Pogacar still got to be the favorite. Bach and Taraskin at 11th and 12th. Hey, things are going well. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.